Ever feel like you're hitting a wall trying to get fluent in English?
Yeah.
Like you're putting in the work, but not quite sounding like a,
Native speaker.
yeah, native speaker.
Right.
Well, today we're diving into a technique that might just be the secret weapon you've been searching for.
Okay.
It's all about the power of imitation
Interesting.
and how mimicking others can actually unlock a whole new level of fluency.
Okay.
So get ready to ditch those textbooks and tap into something a little more,
Primal.
primal.
Okay.
We've got some fascinating insights to share from, experts in language acquisition,
Yeah.
research studies, and real-life stories of people who've used this technique to transform their English.
Cool.
So we're breaking down the process into 3 simple but powerful steps.
All right.
We'll show you exactly how to make it work for you.
Great.
Okay, so step 1 is all about listening and reading.
Okay.
But it's not just about passively taking in words.
No.
It's about active listening. Really tuning your ear to the music of the language.
So what do you mean by that?
Well, think about it. When you listen to a native speaker,
Yeah.
they've got this natural flow. There's a rhythm and an intonation that just makes their English sound, I don't know.
Effortless.
Yeah, effortless.
Yeah.
And engaging.
Right.
So in this step, you're really focusing on those things.
Right.
Like, how are words pronounced?
Yeah.
Where are the pauses? And how does the intonation, rise and fall to convey meaning?
Yeah.
So it's like you're listening with a magnifying glass almost.
Okay.
Picking up on these subtle cues that you might normally miss.
Right. Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like training your ear to hear English the way a native speaker hears it.
Exactly.
It's like recalibrating your ears.
Yeah.
So you're not just learning new words, but you're also learning how to use them with the right feeling and emphasis.
Right. Like, I've noticed even with simple phrases,
Yeah.
just a slight change in intonation can totally change the meaning.
Absolutely.
Right.
For example,
Yeah.
think about the phrase, "it's raining."
Oh,
If you say it with a flat intonation, "it's raining," it's just a statement of fact.
yeah.
But if you say, "it's raining," with your voice rising at the end,
Yeah.
now it expresses surprise.
Right. Or even like annoyance.
Right. Exactly. So by paying attention to intonation, you can really start to understand the nuances of how native speakers use English to communicate.
And then start to use it the same way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once you've trained your ear to pick up on those subtleties,
All right.
we move on to step 2, which is all about copying.
Okay, so this is where we get to channel our inner parrot a little bit.
Exactly. Embrace your inner mimic.
Yeah. But I guess there's a real science behind it too, right?
Oh, absolutely. You see, when you imitate native speakers,
Yeah.
you're actually training your vocal muscles to produce sounds that might be completely unfamiliar to you.
Okay.
It's like learning a new dance move.
Yeah, right.
Repetition is key to getting it right.
Yeah. And don't worry if you feel a little awkward at first.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's all part of the process.
Right, like I remember when I first tried rolling my R's in Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
It felt so weird.
Right.
Like my tongue just didn't want to cooperate.
Absolutely.
But eventually, with practice, it clicked.
And that's exactly it.
Yeah.
What feels strange and awkward at first gradually becomes more natural with practice.
Okay, so we've listened,
Yes.
we've copied,
We've mimicked.
we've mimicked.
Now, are you ready for the final step?
I am. Hit me.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
It's called shadowing.
Shadowing. Okay. What is that?
Imagine this. You're speaking simultaneously with a native speaker,
Okay.
almost like you're their vocal shadow.
Oh, interesting.
You're mirroring their pace, their rhythm, and their intonation in real time.
Wow.
It's like a fluency workout.
So it's like taking everything we've learned from listening and copying
Yes,
and putting it into action.
exactly. Shadowing forces you to think less and speak more instinctively.
Oh, I like that.
And don't worry if it feels challenging at first.
Yeah.
It gets easier with practice. In fact, the source material mentions a story about someone who initially struggled with shadowing,
Oh, yeah.
but after practicing consistently,
Yeah.
they saw amazing results in their fluency.
Wow. That's encouraging,
Absolutely.
It makes sense that this technique would help with, like pronunciation.
Of course.
But what I find really fascinating is that it goes beyond that.
It does.
It's like you're absorbing
Yeah,
the natural patterns of the language, almost
Yeah.
like through osmosis or something.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You're internalizing how the language flows organically.
Right.
You're not just memorizing grammar rules.
Yeah.
Research has even suggested that imitating native speakers
Can actually rewire your brain
Really?
to process language more efficiently.
That's fascinating.
It is.
So it's not just about sounding more natural,
No.
but you're also feeling more confident because you're not, overthinking every word.
Exactly. You're training your brain to think in English.
Yeah. And the source really emphasizes, starting small,
absolutely.
gradually increasing the complexity,
Right.
and being consistent with your practice.
Consistency is key.
Yeah.
So think about it. What if you could unlock a whole new level of fluency
Yeah.
just by harnessing the power of imitation?
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Give this technique a try.
Yeah.
And see the transformation for yourself. You might be surprised how quickly you start to sound and feel like a more confident English speaker.
I love it. Well, this has been fascinating. So much great information to digest here.
Absolutely.
So for our listeners out there, take this challenge.
Yeah. Try out these 3 steps. See how it works for you. And let us know how it goes.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Great.
Until then, keep practicing.
Absolutely.
And keep imitating.
Yeah.